Hey, hello, and welcome back. I am Debbie Peterson of Getting to Clarity, and this is another episode of the Getting to Clarity Show. This is the place that you want to be if you want the tips, tools, and techniques to create more success in your leadership with less sacrifice in your life, especially from a mindset perspective. So today we are talking about overcoming overwhelm that time of year. So, how do you focus on what matters most in your leadership and life? So, especially as a new leader, if you're about to take on a brand new leadership role, or if you are in a new leadership role, you are likely no stranger to feeling overwhelmed. So, there's the excitement of new responsibilities, but it goes hand in hand with the weight of juggling competing priorities, and everything competes. So you fall under the pressure thinking you have to have all of the answers just to prove yourself as a new manager or a new leader. And you do that while trying to also manage expectations from every single direction. So if you can relate to that, then you are in the right place. Please just take a deep breath, because what I want you to know is overwhelm will not last. It's just a signal. It's something that comes up in you that signals that something has to change. And actually, clarity and focus are the antidotes to overwhelm. So the noise begins to fade when you're clear about what your why is, and then you know what truly matters. So, for instance, it's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. Now, there's something I call the leadership overwhelm trap. And it is perhaps the single most common trap which new leaders fall into, and that is the need to do it all. So when you start in a new leadership role, it's pretty easy to get sucked into the pattern of chasing every single opportunity, answering every email yourself, and saying yes to every request. But this busy mindset generally has you spinning your wheels, and then you're never really sure if you're actually getting anywhere. It can suck the life right out of you, wear you down, and make you feel like you're never quite good enough. And that's just not true. So the good news is you don't have to do it all. Trying to do everything is a surefire way to dilute your influence and your impact, not to mention to burn yourself out. So what makes a great leader isn't how much they do, it's their ability to focus on what drives results and then align with a purpose or a why. The why that might be yours, the team's, or the project's. So finding focus with the Clarity Compass framework, which I created. So you sometimes have to stop and you really need to realign the direction that you're going in so that you can refocus and you can move forward with intention. So here's where the Clarity Compass framework comes into play. So think of holding a compass in your hand, and your true north represents your purpose, your reason for doing what you do, or your why. In your role, just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. Every step that you take should be in alignment with that why. And it will guide you toward the goals that really count, that will have meaning in your career, in your leadership, in your business. So here's how to get started. Ask yourself, what's really important here? And it's deceptively simple, but this question can slice through the clutter. It can separate you from urgent distractions versus the important priorities. So maybe for you, it's about building trust with your new team. Maybe it's advancing a key project, or it's carving out some time to do the deep thinking and to strategize. So whatever your focus is, that's what's important. And you understand why it's important. Allow that to guide your actions. So next, consider the tasks, the commitments, the goals that are currently filling your plate and your calendar, and look at the ones that are aligned with your why or your reason. So if they're not, maybe now is the time to let go of things that don't serve you, right? Delegation and deferral are your friends. More to the point, learning to say no can be a really huge strategy that can give you back more time and energy that has been taken up by overload. So the mindset shift that changes everything is clarity. And clarity isn't a strategy itself, although it can be. It's really a mindset shift. And too often, overwhelm comes from one single important belief about the need for your success. And that is that you have to be the one to manage everything. But leadership isn't about control, it's about influence. So when you begin to frame your work around what you can influence instead of what you think you need to control, you'll really be amazed how this subtle realization gives you a sense of freedom. So suppose you are feeling overwhelmed by managing a project and it has a really tight deadline. So instead of focusing on every single detail, you turn your attention to those areas where your leadership, your skills will best serve to make a bigger difference in the project. That may mean that you bring clarity to your team about the vision of the project, making sure that they have what they need, paving the way around any obstacles. Using your influence there makes you feel less overwhelmed, and sometimes it helps to build your confidence in leading them. It helps it to grow. So, what are some practical steps that you can regain clarity? So, being overwhelmed can be really tricky. So, to regain clarity, you want to start by keeping things small. Okay. So, take some time to just brain dump. A simple step, right? But getting it all out of your head is good. Get it all out, all the projects, all the meetings, all the worries, all the to dos. Then, and only then, can you do something about it? You can prioritize it once it's on paper. So, this gives you the ability to see patterns about what's critical, what aligns with your why, and what can be set aside for now. This is what I call the clarity effect, and it creates relief. So by having this clarity mindset, when you take everything that's swirling in your head and it all feels infinite, if you can get it out and get it in front of you, then you know how to make it more manageable. Another strategy is blocking out time for the deep work. As a new leader, you get pulled in all sorts of different directions. But to take an hour and do some focused thinking on your top priorities, that can really make a difference. So protect this time, put it in your calendar, don't let anybody get to it, and let the people around you know why it's so important to you. That is you leading with clarity, right? So when you lead with clarity, it inspires other people around you to do the same thing. Your focus and your calm become contagious in a good way. So instead of reacting to every fire, you are intentionally choosing where you're going to direct your energy. You're going to be more effective. Your relationships with your team and your peers will all strengthen for it because they know what to expect. Now, notice how you can cut through the noise. Notice how other people see you cutting through the noise, being more grounded in what's truly important. You become an example. So, overcoming overwhelm is a process. It's not a one and done, but it is one that is worth taking. So, with the right mindset and tools, you can shift from feeling stuck to making meaningful progress. And as you step into your new leadership role, it helps to give you more confidence. So remember this, clarity it's not a destination, it's a practice. So each day you get to decide, you get to choose on what you're going to focus on. And hopefully it is what matters most so that you can lead with purpose. So for more tips, tools, and techniques on how to gain clarity and the clarity effect, head on over to www.debbiepetersonspeaks.com. Your clarity begins right now. Take care, be good to yourself, and bye-bye for now.